Good afternoon. I'm Ricky with the Ebbert Company, and I'm here today with Dawn from Southwire. We're going to talk about this. Dawn, this looks like the most complicated wagon I've ever seen. What is it used for? Who uses it? And what's the stock like on it?
Sure. This is one of my favorite tools that we have right now, one of the best offerings. This is a cable feeder. So you have two sides on your cable pull. You have the feeding end and you have the pulling end. This is over here where my reel is. So as that wire is feeding off of that reel, this is a piece of equipment that is helping that wire move off of that reel. There's only two things that are like this out in the field. There's this complicated sled that you talked about, and then there's a traditional one that looks like an old pitching machine. There's a couple of things that make this feeder quite unique to the other option that's out there in the field now. The first thing you'll notice is that there's no tires on it, right? The traditional one had two pneumatic tires that came together to push this wire out the other end. This one, we eliminated all the tires, and we have 5 solid rubber reels here. The 3 on the bottom, they've got grooves in them. We call them serpentine rollers. We call them serpentine rollers, which is just a fancy way to say that they have those grooves in them. So these top 2 rollers, when I close the gate here, those top 2 rollers, they push the conductors down into those grooves on those 3 bottom rollers. So now, unlike a traditional wire feeder that's only grabbing the top jacket of the wire, this one's also grabbing the sides of the wire as well. So it's holding it into place nice and tight. The great thing with that is, with the traditional cable feeder, if a wire slips, I have to stop my feeder, I have to readjust the air, take some out, or add some in. With this one, all I have to do is close that gate and they're nice and tight. If it does get loose, I can crank the hand crank down on the fly. I don't ever have to stop my cable pull to keep that wire moving forward through the feeder. So it's a great asset to this tool, especially if the wire pull is heavy. Once I close that gate, I can adjust my feed, my speed on there to be in tandem with my cable puller to help things move along nice and smoothly.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for breaking that down. Seems like a very helpful tool.
Yeah.